Music.
Instagram के ऊपर
गंदा बास आ रहा है यार।
साफ किया है, रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं किया
Okay, so we are ready to start.
Oh my God. Oh my.
Okay, so let us start with the prayers and then we will start with the Krishna Janmashtami. We will see all his pastimes, various pastimes in form of a light, music and a puppet show. Okay.
Mataji, can I do the prayers?
No, to today, let me do it and then in the regular
Mataji.
classes, everything. Okay, so here I share my screen. We will chant the prayers first. Everyone can be on mute.
Mataji, in Saturday, can I see the prayers?
Okay, so let us say the prayers first. Because without Guru's blessings, without blessings from our acharyas and without blessings from Krishna and Radharani, we cannot start the show, right? So now let us start with the prayers first. Om Adnyanatimirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmenitanyena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhasha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maya ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Okay, Okay, so now all our participants are ready for the show. Okay, so yes, here we go.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna everyone, I am Ishwari. Today, I am going to narrate a story about the advent of our eternal friend Krishna. A long time ago, there lived a king named Devka. He had given the hand of his daughter Devki in marriage to Surasen's son Vasudev. Vasudev's brother, Devki's brother Kamsa was driving their chariot to take the newlyweds to Vasudev's house. Suddenly, there was a storm and a loud voice spoke.
Vatsa, you are a fool. The eighth son of the woman you are carrying in your chariot is going to kill you.
Kamsa got angry and scared. He quickly pulled out his sword and was about to kill Devki. Then Vasudev spoke up.
My dear brother-in-law, do not kill Devaki. It is very impious to kill your own sister on your wedding day. Death is already born along with your birth. From the very day you took your birth, you began to die. Suppose you are 25 years old. That means you've already died 25 years. Every moment, every second, you are dying. Why then should you be so much afraid of death? Final death is inevitable. You may either die today or in 100 years. You cannot avoid death. Why should you be so much afraid? No! I can't spare this lady. She is going to be the cause of my death. Kamsa, don't be envious of your newly married sister. If you kill her, it will go against your high reputation. Also, it is the eighth son which is going to kill her, not the first. I promise you that we will hand over every child we have to you. Okay, then I will let you go.
Thus, saying this, Vasudev prevented Kamsa from killing Devki. Vasudev thought,
For the present, let me save the life of Devaki. Then later on, if there are any children, I shall see how to save them. In the future, I get a child who can kill Kamsa. Just as Kamsa is thinking, then both Devaki and a child will be saved because of the law of the providence is inconceivable. But now, in some way or the other, let me save the life of Devaki.
Kamsa, who got persuaded, continued driving their chariot and dropped them to their new house. Everything was going well when Devki gave birth to a child. Vasudev took the child and was going to Kamsa's palace, according to the promise he gave. Devaki was devastated because the first child she gave birth to was going into the hands of a cruel demon. But Vasudev could not break his promise. Although he felt sad, he headed towards Kamsa's palace.
My dear brother-in-law, according to my promise, I have brought you my first child. I am impressed with your honesty, my dear Vasudeva. You need not present this child to me. I am not in danger from this child. I have heard that the eighth child born of you and Devki will kill me. Why should I accept this child unnecessarily? You can take him back.
Vasudev was delighted to hear that he would not have to give up his baby. He happily went home and informed Devki the happy news.
I am so excited that we got a first child back.
But Kamsa cannot be trusted. He can change his views any time.
After Vasudev leaves, Narad Muni, the spaceman who wants to see Krishna's incarnation sooner, goes to Kamsa.
Welcome, O sage. What makes you come to my humble home? How can I serve you?
My dear king, I heard about the announcement and have come here to inform you should not take any chances with any child. These demigods cannot be trusted. We do not know which one is the eighth child of Devki, as any child of Devki can be the cause of your death. Hence, you should not spare any of the children.
After hearing Narad Muni's advice, his mind becomes polluted and he decides to imprison Vasudeva and Devaki. Kamsa throws Vasudeva and Devaki into a dark cell. He snatches the baby from Devaki and smashes it onto a rock. Vasudeva and Devaki are saddened by this.
Give me your son, Devaki. Now I will prove the oracle to be false.
Please, Kamsa, please. Don't be so cruel. Please spare this child. Please, please. My eighth child is going to be the cause of your death and not the first. So please don't kill this child. Please.
Every time they give birth to a child, comes out till its heart beats. In this way, Devki's sixth son was delivered. When Devki became pregnant the seventh time, a plenary expansion of Krishna, known as Ananta, appeared within her womb. Devki was overwhelmed with both jubilation and lamentation. She was joyful, for she could understand that Lord Vishnu had taken shelter within her womb. But at the same time, he could understand that as soon as the child would come out, Kamsa would kill him. The Lord thus informed Yogmaya,
And at the present moment, my plenary expansion Shesha is within the womb of Devaki. You can arrange the transfer of Shesha from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohit. After this arrangement, I am personally going to appear in the womb of Devaki with my full potencies. Then I shall appear as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, and you shall appear as the daughter of Nanda and Yashodhana in Vrindavan.
Devki's seventh son, whose none other than Anantashesh, miraculously disappeared from the womb of Devki and got transferred to the womb of Vasudev's another wife, Rohini. Rohini was kept in the shelter of Nanda Maharaj and his wife Yashoda and Gokul. Finally, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared in the heart of Devki. All the demigods offered prayers to the Lord.
Our dear Lord, you have appeared in your original unalloyed form, the eternal form of goodness, for the welfare of all living entities within this material, taking advantage of your appearance. All of them can now very easily understand the nature and form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Kamsa, however, saw the transcendental beauty of his sister Devki, and he at once concluded that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has taken shelter within him. She had never looked so wonderfully beautiful. He could distinctly understand that there was something wonderful within the beauty. In this way, Kamsa became perturbed because he was sure that the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the near future had now come. Kamsa began to think of ways to kill his eighth nephew. Kamsa finally decided to kill Devki right away, but wait for the inevitable future. But his mind became absorbed in animosity against the personality of Godhead. He impatiently waited for the delivery of the child, expecting to kill him as he had done previously with the other babies of Devki. He began to think of Krishna or Vishnu while sitting, while sleeping, while walking, while eating, while working, in all the situations of life. Unfortunately, although his mind was so absorbed in the thought of Vishnu, he is not recognized as a devotee because he was thinking of Krishna as an enemy. Lord Vishnu, who was residing within the heart of every living entity, appeared in the darkness of the light as the Supreme Personality of Godhead before Devki and Vasudeva.
This child is so wonderful. He has 4 hands holding conch shell, club, disc, and lotus flower, decorated with the mark of Shivatsa, wearing the jeweled necklace of Kaustuba stone, dressed in yellow silk, appearing dazzling like a bright blackish cloud, wearing a helmet bedecked with Vaidurya stone, valuable bracelets, earrings, and similar other ornaments all over his body, and beautified with the abundance of hair on his head. How could a newly born child be so decorated? I can therefore understand that Lord Krishna has now appeared.
Vasudeva and Devki bowed down with folded hands and began to offer prayers.
My dear Lord, I can understand who you are. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the super soul of all living entities, and the absolute truth. You have appeared in your own eternal form, which is directly perceived by us. I understand that because I am afraid of Kamsa, you have appeared just to deliver me from that fear. You do not belong to this material world. You are the same person who brings above the cosmic manifestation simply by glancing over the material nature. My lord, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. You are the original director of everything and the reservoir of all the potent energies. I am still afraid because as soon as Kamsa understands that you have appeared, he might harm you. So, I request that for the time being, you become invisible to our material eyes.
My dear mother and father, you have raised me many times as your child with great affection and love, and I am therefore very much pleased and obliged to you. I know you're very concerned about me and afraid of Kamsa. I request you to take me immediately to Gokul and exchange me for the daughter who has been just born to Yashoda.
Having spoken thus to his father and mother, the Lord turned himself into an ordinary child in their presence and remained silent. Being ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudev prepared to take his son from the delivery room. And exactly at that time, a daughter was born to Nanda and Yashoda. She was Yogamaya, the internal potency of the Lord. By the influence of this internal potency, Yogamaya, all the residents of Kamsa's palace, especially the doorkeepers, were overwhelmed with deep sleep. The doors opened, although they were barred with shackled with iron chains. While Vasudeva was carrying his son Krishna in the falling rain, Lord Shesha, in the shape of a serpent, spread his hood over the head of Vasudeva so that he would not be hampered by the rainfall. Vasudev came onto the bank of the Yamuna and saw that the water was roaring with waves and that the whole span was full of foam. Still, in that furious feature, the river gave passage to Vasudev. He went to the place of Nanda Maharaj situated in Gokul, where he saw that all the cowherd men were fast asleep. He took the opportunity to silently enter the house of Yashoda, and without difficulty, he exchanged his son for the baby girl newly born there. Then, after entering the house very silently and exchanging the boy for the girl, he returned to the prison of Kamsa and silently put the girl on the lap of Devki. He again clamped the shackles on himself so that Kamsa could not recognize that so many things had happened. This is how Kamsa appeared in this world to punish all the evildoers and liberate all the devotees. Now, let's hear the pastime of Putna. After coming to Gokul, Krishna stayed under the protection of his foster parents, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maya. Not long after he came to Gokul as a baby, there came a day when Kamsa got to know that Krishna was in Gokul. He decided to send the evil demoness Putna for her to feed her poisonous milk and kill him.
Putna, come here. It's an order. Go and kill every child in Vrindavan who was born in the month of Shravan.
Yes, Your Majesty. Putna went to every village and killed all the newborn babies. She went to Gokul. She heard a few villagers talking about such a magical child Krishna was. Putna got scared because if she went out there in this form, people would know that she's a demoness. I will take the form of a beautiful lady. Soon, with her mystic powers, she became as beautiful and effulgent as the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. She went out from her hiding place and people started admiring her. Putna made her way to Krishna's house. Yashoda and Rohini were outside and seeing Putna in her beautiful form, they were very astonished and impressed.
This lady looks so beautiful.
She surely resembles the goddess of fortune. It seems that the goddess of fortune has personally come to meet my child.
Putna found baby Krishna lying on a small bed, and she could at once understand that the baby was hiding his unparalleled potencies. Putna thought, this child is so powerful that he can destroy the whole universe immediately. The Supreme Personality of Godhead gives one necessary intelligence. Thus, Putna was immediately aware that the child whom she was observing in the house of Nanda Maharaj was the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. He was lying there as a small baby, but that does not mean he was less powerful. When Putna was taking baby Krishna on her lap, both Yashoda and Rohini were present. But because she was so beautifully dressed and showed motherly affection towards Krishna, they did not forbid her. Putna had smeared a very powerful poison on her breast, and immediately after taking the baby on her lap, she started feeding milk to Krishna. She was hoping that as soon as he would drink milk, he would die, but the baby sucked the milk and killed her by sucking out her life. Putna fell to the ground, spread her arms and legs, and began to cry. Oh, child, save me! Leave me! Go away from me! Save me! Help! Go away! Leave me! Putna started losing her beautiful form and turned into a demoness out of pain.
Somebody save my child! Somebody save my child! Save my child, Krishna! That is a demoness, not Lakshmi! Please save him! Please save him!
But there was nothing anyone could do. Putna was too big and would be very hard to kill. Meanwhile, Lord Krishna was still holding on to Putna's chest as she ran and ran, but could not throw Krishna off of her. Not much time after that, Putna died and the residents of Gokul were relieved. They all came running to where the dead demoness lay.
Oh my dear son, you are safe. I am so happy that you are safe.
That night, the residents of Gokul had a big celebration and burned Putna's body, which gave out a beautiful fragrance as it burned. In this way, Krishna killed Putna. Now, let's hear about Shaktasura's deliverance. When it was Krishna's first birthday, Maharaj Nanda and Mother Yashoda had arranged for Krishna's birthday ceremony. All the cowherd men and women were invited to participate in the jubilant celebration. A nice band played, and the assembled people enjoyed it. All the learned Brahmanas were invited. They chanted the Vedic hymns for the good fortune of Krishna. While they chanted the hymns, Krishna was bathed by Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda arranged to distribute a large amount of grain, cows decorated with golden ornaments, and charity to the Brahmanas. Mother Yashoda took her bath and dressed herself beautifully. She dressed Krishna, took him on her lap, and sat down. While Mother Yashoda was listening to the chanting of the hymns, Krishna appeared to be falling asleep. She quietly laid him down on the bed underneath a hand-driven cart. Being engaged in receiving all the friends and guests, she forgot to feed Krishna milk. He was crying, but Yashoda could not hear because of the various voices. Baby Krishna got angry and he kicked his legs in the air. Accidentally, his foot touched the wheel of the cart and it collapsed. Various types of utensils were being kept in the cart. They all fell with a great noise. All the cowherd men and women and Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda came running to see what had happened.
What happened? How did this cart break?
Maya, baby Krishna was kicking his leg and his foot touched the wheel of the cart. Then the cart broke and all the utensils fell down.
We don't believe you. How can such a small child break a huge cart just by touching his foot?
Yes, Maya, we are telling the truth. We saw it with our own eyes.
Come, Krishna, I will feed you milk.
Let's hear about Krishna stealing butter. When Krishna and Balaram started to stand on their feet, they started to steal butter from the homes of the gopis. One day, the gopis went to Mother Yashoda and complained.
Dear Yashoda, why don't you restrict your naughty Krishna? He comes to our houses along with Balaram every morning and evening, and before the milking of the cows, they let loose the calves and the calves drink all the milk of the cows. So when we have to go to milk the cows, we find no milk and we have to return with empty pots. If we warn Krishna and Balaram about doing this, they simply smile so charmingly that we cannot do anything. Also, your Krishna and Balaram find great pleasure in stealing our stock of yogurt and butter from wherever we keep it.
When Krishna and Balaram are caught stealing the yogurt and butter, they say, "Why do you charge us with stealing? Do you think that the butter and yogurt are in scarcity in our house? Sometimes they steal butter, yogurt and milk and distribute them to the monkeys. When the monkeys are filled with and do not take any more, then your boy is child. This milk, butter, and yogurt are useless. Even the monkeys won't take it. And they break the pots and throw them hither and thither. If we keep our stock of yogurt, butter, and milk in solitary dark place, your Krishna and Balrama find it in the darkness by the glaring effulgence of the ornaments and jewels on their bodies. If by chance they cannot find the hidden butter and yogurt, they go to our little babies and pinch their bodies so that they cry and then they go away.
If, out of fear of these naughty boys, we keep our stock of butter and yogurt high on a ceiling, hanging on a swing, although it is beyond their reach, they arrange to reach it by piling all kinds of wooden planks over the grinding machine. And if they cannot reach, they make a hole in the pot. We therefore think that you'd better take all the jeweled ornaments from the bodies of your children.
Thus, all the gopis relished talking about Krishna all the time. Even though they spoke in a complaining tone, they were actually enjoying talking about Krishna all the time. Now, let's hear about the famous Damodar Leela. It was a beautiful day in Vaja. Yashoda Maya, Krishna's mother, was churning some butter and Krishna was asleep. Soon, Krishna woke up and started feeling hungry. He started running towards his mother in the front yard as fast as his legs could carry him.
Maya, what are you doing?
I am churning butter from cow's milk. For you. You like it, right?
Yes, Maya, but I am very hungry now. Can you please feed me?
Sure, my dear Lala.
Yashoda Maya, without hesitation, started feeding Krishna her milk. Suddenly, she remembered that she had put milk on the stove and that it was about to boil over.
I am smelling something. Oh, I had kept a pot of milk to boil. I will be back in a minute, dear.
She put Krishna down and ran to the kitchen to turn off the stove. Krishna did not like his mother going away like this. Soon, hungry Krishna became angry Krishna. He broke the pot of churned butter and started eating it. He offered it to the monkeys too. As it was finished, he wanted more, so he went to the storeroom. When Yashoda Maya came out, she did not see Krishna there.
This child is very clever. After breaking the pot, he has ran from that place, fearing punishment.
After she sought all over, she found her son sitting on a big wooden grinding mortar, which was kept upside down. He was taking butter from a pot which was hanging from a ceiling on a swing, and he was feeding it to the monkeys.
I better teach him a lesson. Otherwise, he will become a thief in the future. And then who will marry him?
She got angry and started chasing them with a stick. Finally, after a lot of effort, she caught Krishna and tried to tie him with a rope to the mortar, but could not as it was 2 fingers short.
Wait, I will bring another rope to tie. But I'm not going to leave you today. Oh, I'm still not able to tie him. I'm so tired now.
She again brought a long rope, but it still didn't work. She continued until Mother Yashoda was fed up. Krishna then allowed himself to be bound by the ropes. Krishna thus thought to himself,
Mother Yashoda first of all left without feeding me sufficient milk. Then therefore I broke the pot of yogurt and distributed the stock butter in charity to the monkeys. Now she has bound me up to a wooden mortar. So I shall do something more mischievous than before. I will go out into the courtyard and have some fun around.
in the courtyard there were 2 big Arjuna trees. These were the sons of Kuvera. Their names were Nala Kuvera and Manigrava. They were cursed by Narad Muni to become trees since they were busy enjoying with the ladies in the water and did not pay any attention when Narada reached them. Narad Muni caused them to become trees, but also blessed them that after 100 years they will be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna face to face. Lord Krishna knew that Narada was his great devotee and that the trees standing before him as 2 twin Arjuna trees were actually the sons of Kuvera.
I must now fulfill the words of my great devotee Narada. Let me pass through these trees with this mortar.
And thus he thought of pulling down the 2 very tall Arjuna trees. After tying him up, Yashoda Maiya went to attend her household work. Krishna took the mortar between the Arjuna trees and tried to pull through the small gap between the trees. Boom! The trees came crashing down, making a loud noise, frightening the residents of Vrindavan. They left their work and came towards the direction of the sound. Meanwhile, out of the trees came the celestial brothers, Nalakuvera and Manigriva, who were previously cursed by Narad Muni for acting indecently.
Thank you, my lord, for saving us from gliding down to the hellish condition of life.
We were very puffed up. You have saved us, my lord.
They prayed to Krishna and offered beautiful prayers and said wonderful glories of the Lord. After they left, all the inhabitants of Gopal, including Nanda Maharaj, immediately came to the spot.
What happened here? I heard a very big sound here. Is everything okay?
They were very much astonished to see how the two great trees had suddenly fallen. Because they could find no reason for their falling down, they were puzzled. When they saw Krishna bound up to the wooden mortar by the ropes of Mother Yashoda, they thought that it must have been caused by some demon.
Lala, how are you, Lala? Did you get hurt anywhere? Are you okay?
Maya, I don't want to come to you. I don't want to come to you.
Please don't say like this, my dear Lala. Please tell me if you're okay.
I don't want to come to you.
Please come to me, Kana. Are you all right?
Yes, Baba.
But what is all this? What has happened here? And how did these trees fall? And how did Kana reach here with this motor?
While the cowherd men were thus contemplating, the small children who were playing there informed them that
Baba, I will tell you what happened. These big trees fell down because Krishna had pulled the wooden mortar with the ropes binding him.
Krishna came in between the two trees and the wooden motor was topsy-turvy and stuck in between the two trees. Krishna pulled the rope and the trees fell down. When the trees fell down, two very dazzling men came out of the trees and they said something to Krishna.
We don't believe you. How can all this be done just by baby Krishna?
Baba, we saw it with our own eyes. This is all done by Krishna himself. Please believe us, Baba. Please believe us.
most of the cowherd men did not believe the statement of the children. They could not believe that such things were at all possible. Some of the men, however, believed them and just told Nanda Maharaj, "Your child is different from all other children. He just might have done it." Nanda Maharaj smiled to hear about the extraordinary abilities of his son. He came forward and untied the knot just to free his wonderful child. After being freed by Nanda Maharaj, Krishna was taken into the laps of the elder gopis. They took him away in the courtyard of the house and danced along with their clapping, just like an ordinary child. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, being completely controlled by the gopis, sang and danced just like a puppet in their hands. Krishna's pastimes are endless, but the time of our show is coming to an end. But don't worry, we will see each other again and relish the beautiful leelas of Krishna together. Hare Krishna!
Okay, so have you enjoyed the show?
Yes, Mataji, it was wonderful.
Yes, even I enjoyed it very much. Yeah, it was amazing performance by all the kids.
Yes, Mataji.
Very nice. So now let me introduce you to all the characters.
Room
Who is ready? Let me introduce you to all the characters. The characters are not ready. Just give me a moment. Okay, so let me spotlight. Yes. So we have Pranjal and Umesh Prabhuji and Uma Mataji. So all the props and everything has been done by Pranjal, Umesh Prabhuji and Uma Mataji. So all the wonderful, beautiful puppets that you saw was done by all three of them. So big haribol to them. Then Ishwari, who did the narration, was Swara.
Haribol.
Then Om was Vasudev, Krishna, and many other roles also Om played in the show. Then Atharva also played many roles. He played role of Narad Muni, he played role of a demigod, the children, and Nalakovera. So many roles are played by Atharva. Then we have Arnav. Arnav also played many contradictory roles. So he played role of Kamsa and Vishnu both. So again, a contradictory role. Then Nand Baba and Gopas is a role played by Arnav. Then Aditi also played many roles. So Aditi played a role of Devaki, Yashoda, Gopis, Gopas, and children. So multiple roles played by Aditi. And we have Pranjal, who over and above the puppets, she also played role of Gopi, Yashoda, and small children. So they all gave different voices based on the roles that they were playing. So it was an amazing performance by all of them. So let us chant a big Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for them. You all can unmute and we'll chant a big Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for them. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna.
There was lots and lots of efforts which have gone. There was lots and lots of efforts which were gone in behind making the props, behind making the puppets and all, because it was not very easy, because different scene has different sets of puppets. So So basically, it was not an easy one, because for each scene, making different puppets with different expressions was a big task in itself. But yes, all the kids, they have done very nicely. And yes, so Umesh Prabhuji, Pranjal, they made very nice puppets so that, we can get the feel of, Krishna's birth and his pastimes and all. Yeah, so now the ball is in your court. Tomorrow we have Moment of Joy, wherein each child is going to perform, and we are, eagerly waiting for all your performances. So see you tomorrow again. Okay. And if you have not submitted your drawings, please submit your drawings today itself. Yeah.